Yes, guys, how's it going? Samuel here from Let's Talk Ball. Now, it's not often in football that we as fans agree on the same thing. In fact, it's very rare. But today I bring to you a topic that I believe may just abolish those standards that we've become so used to. And that topic is why Manchester City and Pep Guardiola may finally break their Champions League curse. So why then might this be Manchester City and Pep Guardiola's year when it comes to club football's top competition? It's down to a number of factors, and the most prominent one for me is the fluidity in Playstyle. I actually believe this is Pep Guardiola's most refined system in football. I think we've seen this season the inner tactician that lies beneath him, and I think it's the most unpredictable lineup due to the versatility in that squad. We'll get into why that is the case right now. Now, in order to understand the fluidity and versatility of this squad, it's easier for me to demonstrate this on a tactics board. Now, the squad in front of me right now is the one that faced Arsenal, I believe. It was just when De Bruyne came back. In fact, it was actually Silva as a centre forward and De Bruyne as a central midfielder. Now taking this for what it is, you'll notice that there's no set target man. Silva is known for being on the wing or a more central attacking midfield position, and even centre midfield. He's a very versatile player. But the point is, there's no target man. Now, as these guys move forward, you actually see the space that's created by the wing backs, which are the most important part of this system. It allows De Bruyne to push more central. Rodri will slot in more towards the defence. The likes of Ilkay Gundogan, who's having one of the seasons of his life, it allows him to push up into that attacking midfield position, whilst De Bruyne can push more centrally, and Cancelo, the key man to this, pushes into midfield in this free roam role. Now, the likes of Rodri is dropping back into defence. It allows Stones to play a similar system to Wilder in terms of overlapping centre-backs. Diaz can also go wide. It can allow for a three at the back and allow Zinchenko to push up in that inverted wing-back role. It also can happen in a different way though. We can have Rodri push up a little bit and support and fill in those gaps, and then Zinchenko drop back. But whatever happens, it's always a three-man defence on the attack. It allows the likes of De Bruyne to push up, Silva to push up, Mahrez to find space on that touchline and come inside if he wants to. We all know how good he is on that left foot. Same with Sterling. It's all about inverted wingers and inverted wing backs, and it's a system that makes this squad not just versatile in itself, but unpredictable. Now, if there was anything I want you to take from that small demonstration, it's the emphasis on the inverted positions, the inverted wingers and the inverted wing backs that allow for this domination in midfield and attack. Essentially what we've seen this season is the likes of João Cancelo given a free roam role from right back, a position that just 10 years ago was not as important, nowhere near as important as it is now. And I think it's been redefined again. We already saw it with, a couple of seasons back with Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, that the influence of these wing-backs and how they can really contribute to the attack. And we have seen it, of course, in years before that. I believe that this year, I think João Cancelo has took that role to an entire new level. He's essentially the spare man in a training drill, floating around space, picking up the ball in attacking positions. He can sometimes end up in a left wing position and still manage to come back when needed. What this does is it allows the central midfielders, as I just talked about in the demonstration, to push up and go into an attacking position. Of course, that equates to what essentially is an overload in attack. You're more likely to outnumber the opposition by doing so. And the magic thing about this formation and this system of how it works is that you're not sacrificing defence by no means at all. We're talking about a City side here that have just had and are having their best spell ever defensively. This is the least amount of goals that they've conceded at this time in the season. And they're not sacrificing goals in order to keep that defensive stability either. Now this brings me to my third point of why this could be City and Pep's year. It's down to their world-class bench. We all know about their strength in depth. In my opinion, the bench alone would walk into the majority of Europe's top super clubs. And when I say that, the likes of Barcelona immediately spring to mind. The bench that I have put on the screen right now in blue, that was against Everton. Now, I'll talk you through that. You've got the likes of Zach Steffen, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Kyle Walker, solid right back, maybe not as dynamic as João Cancelo that we've seen this season, but still a viable replacement. Aymeric Laporte was their best centre-back just last season. Benjamin Mendy, phenomenal left-back, has struggled with injuries, the same with Laporte, but viable replacement. Rodri, Fernandinho was playing, so he's normally in the first team. And we all know how stable that he makes that midfield. Phil Foden, need I say any more? You've got the likes of Torres, Jesus, and of course Aguero. That's just an example from the game against Everton. The magic thing about this is that that squad varies. We all know about Pep Roulette, any FPL players, we all know about that. I think it echoes the fact that they don't rely on this central striker anymore. It's so different than just a few years back when Aguero was tearing it up. In a way, this injury to Aguero has actually benefited Manchester City and Pep Guardiola because it's allowed goals to come from all over the pitch. And how do you defend against that? Now that transitions nicely onto the enabler in this, and that is confidence, the component that allows them to play this sort of fluid system. It's demonstrated in their playstyle. They make the game look easy. It's all down to confidence and knowing what your position is in this system. When you know that, and when you make the game look easy like City do on a weekly basis, you have a fear factor about you. And we saw that in the Champions League against Borussia Mönchengladbach. Teams are scared of them, and rightly so, because, like I said, when you've got goals coming from all over the pitch, how do you defend that? There's not one talisman that you target. Everyone's a talisman in that team. How do you defend that? And that brings me to my final point on this. It's commitment to the cause. It's similar to confidence. It's a notion that goes under the radar, if anything. We already know about City being on for the quadruple, and if you're looking at it at face value, you could argue that they've already got the Premier League tied up. The EFL Cup against Tottenham Hotspur, of which they dominated them in the last game that we saw, that's most likely tied up. That's 2 competitions already. FA Cup, out of the teams that are left, you'd back City. That's 3 competitions. It then comes down to the Champions League, the holy grail of club football. The competition that Pep has struggled in most throughout his career, the one, so many trophies that got away from him in this competition. He's had 11 attempts at this, it's worth saying, and he's only won it twice. He arguably should have won it a couple of times with Bayern Munich, but that just never prevailed. He's joined a club in City who pride this as their biggest ambition in football. Similar to PSG, this is the competition that they want to win most. And it's the same with Pep Guardiola. He couldn't be at a better club. There's commitment to the cause for both the club and the manager and the players. You know, City haven't just bought world beaters. They've brought players with high potential who want to prove themselves, and they can do, by winning the Champions League. I think that this is the biggest factor in it. I think City now have all the ingredients for the recipe of winning the Champions League. And I'd love to know what you think. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with any of the points that I've raised today. And hit that subscribe button because that always helps too. And leave a like on the video if you're feeling generous. And be sure to check out the top link in the description. That's talkballuk.com. for free and unique football content written by fans from all over the world. But for now, I'll see you in the next video, and it's peace from me.